Hi again. I'm Rebecca Wald. I'm a licensed psychologist in Baltimore, Maryland, and I am here to help you today with some thoughts about what to do with your anxiety when it feels totally logical to be anxious right now. A couple of notes before we get started. I'm a psychologist, but I'm not your psychologist. If you have a diagnosed mental health condition, I hope that you are in touch with your own provider. If you don't have a provider, a lot of mental health clinics and providers are able to do therapy over video conferencing right now. So, something to look into if you're really finding that you're having a hard time. Okay, so back to this question. Um, Maybe you are consumed with anxious thoughts right now. Maybe you can't stop reading the news or scrolling through your phone trying to make sure that all of your friends are okay or looking for more information. Um, Maybe you are up late at night searching YouTube for ways to make sure that the groceries that you bring into the house aren't going to infect your family, or looking for information about cures that maybe the government is keeping from us. Right now, these are very strange and difficult times. Things are really uncertain. The one thing that we do know is that in a lot of places, this virus is bad and getting worse. So you might find yourself feeling like my anxiety feels lousy, but it's totally rational. It is reasonable for me to be anxious right now. Things are genuinely scary. So my reactions are not out of proportion and they're not illogical. So that means I'm stuck with them. Okay, so I recognize those thoughts. I'd be lying if I said that I myself haven't been swallowed up by anxious thoughts at times, and that the thing about constantly scrolling through your phone looking for new news is taken from my personal life. Right now, the question that you should ask yourself about your fears is not, are they reasonable? It's not, are they true? We're in the middle of a global pandemic. Your fears probably are reasonable and true. That's not the question to ask yourself right now. The question to ask yourself is it helpful to me to be having these thoughts right now? That might seem like a really dumb question. Uh, but stop and consider it for a minute. When you are anxiously looking for more news, when you're refreshing the calculator of diagnosed cases in your state, what is that accomplishing for you? Is that actually making you more safe, making your family more protected? Is that doing anything to help the coronavirus victims in your state or the first responders? If you are reading your 19th frontline description from an ER doctor about how scary it is to be working right now? Probably not. Probably it feels like you're achieving something productive, like you are monitoring and keeping a close eye on this stuff because you have to be ready for some unspecified reason. But focusing on your anxious thoughts right now and following up on them by monitoring the virus situation really closely or by sanitizing every surface in your house for the second time today, these things are not actually useful. They're not helpful. And they are not changing your situation or the world in a positive way. So your anxious thoughts might be realistic, but they're not helpful. And that's a distinction that's important. So, gosh, Rebecca, I know my anxious thoughts aren't very helpful right now. If I could stop them, I would. That's fair. Um, your anxious thoughts probably do not wait for an invitation from you. They probably just show up, right? Okay, I want you guys to indulge me, and we're just going to do a little exercise right now. This is a good thing to do anytime that your anxious thoughts start taking over and spreading to occupy too much of your life. Okay, so just now, just at this moment, while you're watching this video, I want you to turn your attention to your feet. Yeah, I know that's a weird request. Do it anyway. Just notice what your feet are experiencing right now. So that might mean noticing whether they're cold or warm, noticing the texture. My feet right now are against my basement floor. It is very smooth. It's really cold. I notice that the tops of my feet are warmer than the bottoms of my feet. You might notice the texture of your sock or your shoe or your slippers, let's be honest, against your feet. If you're sitting with one of your feet drawn up under you, that foot might feel the pressure of your body. So just notice what is going on in the world of your feet right now. And then let's notice what is going on with your hands. So turn your attention to your hands and just notice. You don't have to do anything in particular with your hands, but notice the textures that your hands are in contact with. Notice how it feels where your fingers are touching each other. Notice whether your hands are warm or cold. Just notice the experience that your hands are having right now. And now I want you to raise your awareness to the room around you and look around and notice some of the different colors that you see. See if you can find 5 different colors in your immediate space. Do you have your 5? Okay. So now I want you to let yourself go quiet and notice the sounds that you can hear right now. So you can probably hear my voice. You might hear a bird from outside. You might hear a clock ticking somewhere in the room. The heat or the air conditioner clicking on. You might hear someone moving around somewhere else in your house or apartment. Just take a minute now to notice sounds. And the last thing that we're going to notice is I want you to notice your breathing. I am not going to teach you a special way that you're supposed to breathe right now. I just want you to notice your breath. Notice what it feels like as the breath comes in and out. Notice that the air feels cooler on the way in and warmer on the way out. Notice that there's a perfect balance between the breath you take in, the amount of air that comes into your lungs, and goes out of your lungs. So just focus in on your breathing. Okay, how did that feel? My guess is that you're feeling a little more connected to the actual world around you, like your physical environment right now. You might feel a little calmer. Probably your anxious thoughts are still there, but hopefully now you also have one part of your awareness in the present. So when we're anxious, our brains are usually like skipping back and forth into the future and the far future and the past and all around except where we are right now. Because anxieties by their nature are about things that might be happening or haven't happened yet, or we don't know what results they're going to have. So, this 5 step exercise where you notice your feet, you notice your hands, you notice colors, sounds, and your breathing is a really good way to just bring your attention back to the present and help you be aware of yourself as a body that is in a specific physical location right now. Again, this is something that sounds really obvious, but when we're really caught up in an anxious spiral, we're less aware of that. Okay. So it probably feels better to bring some of your awareness back to your present. And your anxious thoughts might still be there in the background. If you check in on them and just like reach for them, I'm sure they'd be happy to tell you that they're still here. But there's room for both. There is room for your anxious thoughts to keep scrolling on. Like that'll happen whether you pay attention to them or not. But there's also room for you to have awareness here in the present. And that awareness of the present and the things around you helps you feel a little more grounded, even as we continue to be in an anxiety-provoking time. So I want you to picture something for a minute. Imagine that your favorite musical artist of all time is doing a live stream, all right? So they are performing right now, and you can watch it and listen and experience this feeling of being with your favorite musical performer of all time. So a lot of live streams have a scrolling chat text, right? So in one corner of the window where your favorite performer is, there are all of these messages climbing up the stream from other people who are watching. All right? And they're coming at a constant flow. All of these comments, all of these ideas, people checking in from all over the world. All right. So you could, while this live stream is going on, you could make absolutely sure that you're not going to miss any of the comments that people leave in the live stream. Okay? So you could turn your focus to that part of the screen and you could make sure that you're reading every word and taking note of the emojis that people are using and checking to see whether you recognize any of the screen names. You could focus on reading every single word of those comments. If you do that, how much of your favorite performer's words and images are you going to miss because you're concentrating on reading the 17th time somebody has said, "Thank you so much!" Exclamation point, heart emoji, heart emoji. Okay, so there's not a way in our scenario to turn off the chat. Those comments are going to be rolling up the side of the stream no matter what you do. And because you're looking at the screen where your favorite performer is, you are going to see those comments as they come by. But what you can choose to do is turn your attention to the performer in the middle of your screen. And you can choose to direct your attention at this beautiful thing that is happening that you cherish. Those thoughts are still going to be scrolling up in the corner of the window, but you can be choosing to direct most of your attention not at those scrolling thoughts from other people, but at the performer that you came to see. The life you're living right now is the performer doing the live stream. You can pay attention to what's happening moment by moment in your life. You can put your attention on your work. You can put your attention on how it feels to be chopping vegetables to make dinner, or how it feels to be washing dishes in sudsy water, or luxuriating in a hot shower, or snuggling with your kid, or watching your favorite show. And those anxious thoughts are probably still going to be scrolling by, but that's okay. You can see those anxious thoughts out of the corner of your eye. You don't need to turn your attention to reading every word of that chat. That chat is going to happen whether you pay attention to it or not. Exclamation point, heart emoji. It's going to be something that you've seen before. And so is the anxious thought. Oh my God, what if we all die? What if I lose my job? What if my loved ones get sick? What if I get sick? These thoughts aren't new news. These thoughts aren't something that you're going to lose out on if you don't think them. So let them scroll up in the corner of your live stream, and you keep your focus on the middles. All right. Take care, everybody. Please leave a comment if there's a topic that you want me to address. I'd be really happy to make more videos, but I need your ideas. All right. Hang in there. Take it day by day. Bye-bye.